If you have ever watched a video about Daoism, you have heard of Wuwei, and you have probably heard it explained in one of three ways: doing nothing, going with the flow, effortless action. Here is the uncomfortable truth. All three explanations share the same mistake, not a small one, a missing premise, one that changes the entire meaning of the idea. Because when Laozi wrote about Wuwei, he wasn't giving you life advice. He wasn't even talking to you. He was talking to the people who run things. Version 1. Wuwei means doing nothing. Passivity, letting life happen to you. Version 2. Wuwei means going with the flow, never resisting, accepting whatever comes. Version 3. The modern favorite. Wuwei is effortless action, a flow state, a productivity technique. Notice what happened with that last one. The West took an idea about not forcing things and turned it into a tool for high performance, which is exactly the kind of forcing Laozi was warning against. If you ever tried any of this version and they didn't work, it's not because you failed. It is because you will handle the wrong edition of the idea. Let's open the Dao De Jing and ask a simple question almost nobody asks us. Who is being addressed? The answer is on nearly every page. The book speaks to the sage, to lords and kings, to those who govern. Before it is anything else, the Dao De Jing is a manual on how to run a system, a state, a society, an ecosystem of people. Listen to Laozi's actual words. 我无为而民自化，我好静而民自正。I practice non-interference, and the people transform themselves. I love stillness. I do not meddle, and the people prosper by themselves. Who speaks like that? Not a monk, not a life coach, a ruler. All this line, 治大国若烹小鲜. Govern a great state the way you cook a small fish. Turn a small fish too often in the pan, and it falls apart. Wuwei was never about your morning routine. It was about power and the discipline of not abusing it. Wuwei, two characters, Wu, without, Wei, and this is where every translation slips. Wei doesn't just mean to act. In Laozi's usage, it means to interfere, to force, to impose your will on a process that has its own nature. So Wuwei is not non-action, it is non-interference. Laozi says it plainly, 为者败之，执者失之. Those who force it, break it. Those who grip it, lose it. A ruler practicing Wuwei is not passive. He works extremely hard on exactly one thing: the rules, the conditions, the environment. And then he does the hardest thing a powerful person can do. He leaves it alone. Design the system well, then let it live. So, how did advice for kings become a mindfulness hack? Look at the route Daoism took to the West. It arrived mostly through Zhuangzi, through Zen Buddhism, and through writers like Alan Watts. He turned it into personal freedom, the art of not fighting your own life. The vision is real and it's beautiful, but somewhere in transit, the political layer of the Dao De Jing was dropped. The West received the personal edition of an idea, whose original edition was about power. That is why go with the flow never quite worked for you. You were reading someone else's instructions. Here's where this stops being history and starts being about your life. You have probably worked for someone who practiced the exact opposite of Wuwei. The manager who checks in 3 times a day, the KPI for everything that moves, the reorganization every 6 months, the boss whose presence you can feel even when he is not in the room. In all this item, that is not leadership. That is a ruler cooking a small fish and stirring it until it disintegrates. So much of modern exhaustion is simply this: what it feels like to live inside a system run by people who cannot stop interfering. Your tiredness is not a personal failure, it is a design failure, someone else. But before you point at your boss, one more turn. You run something too: a team, a classroom, a family, a child, a community, even a garden. Somewhere in your life, there is a small kingdom where you hold the power. And in that kingdom, you face the ruler's choice. Do you force outcomes, or do you build good conditions and let them grow? Laozi's highest compliment for a leader was this: 功成事遂，百姓皆为我自然. When the work is done, the people all say, "We did it ourselves." Not thank you, not we couldn't have done it without you. We did it ourselves. Maybe that's the real test of power. Whether things flourish when you stop touching them. Wuwei is not the art of doing nothing. It is the discipline of not doing too much.